You know, not everybody is into behind the scenes, and not everybody's into the Mandalorian, but if you're into behind the scenes and the Mandalorian, this little behind the scenes they got going, oh, it's so good. So I have to teach class today. The studio is reopening. I got the streaming setup all done. I'm gonna show that to you guys in just a minute. But I finally decided that I'm only going to teach 30-minute classes. All of my life, when I'm left to my own devices, and I can exercise whenever I want, exercise how I want, what I do is 30 minutes of intense exercise somewhere around 12 to 2 p.m. As far as being in physical shape, I feel like I can speak with some authority on the matter. And doing intense exercise every day for an hour a day, that is too much. Maybe not for everybody, but certainly for me. And every single time that I've tried to teach hour-long exercise classes for any sustained period of time, my body just gradually deteriorates and deteriorates. Like Zumba classes in particular, it's just too much for an entire hour. But I was just thinking, I was like, why am I perpetuating something that I don't think is good to do? I can just change it. I don't have to keep teaching in the style that everybody else is teaching. I can teach in the style that I think is beneficial, and then people can decide if that's the right style for them or, you know. Actually, that's happened a lot where people are like, oh man, I wish the class would have been even longer. And I'm like, dude, after an hour, I'm so dead and I don't ever want to teach a class or even look at a class ever again. But after 30 minutes, man, I feel great. Come on, man. I guess I should also clarify that when I teach an hour class, it's going all out for an hour. The thing is, it's like when you teach one of those classes, if you don't go all out, I just feel like for the students, it's boring, man. They feed off of that energy. And if you don't bring that energy, like you have to go like twice as hard as the students are going for them to get any sort of fun experience. Like when you just phone it in, they might not consciously realize what's happening, but they certainly are gonna be like, oh man, that was the best class ever. And not to say that I'm like out of shape or anything now, but when we started the studio and I was teaching all the time, I was 25 years old. And even then, got a stress fracture, got sick, got burned out. I feel like 30 minutes, intense exercise daily, that is the sweet spot for me. Maybe not for everybody, for me. Okay, so this is the setup. Got a GoPro mounted here. We actually had to do a little woodworking because these cables came out so far I couldn't mount this directly to the mirror. Anyways, this thing mounts it. Down here we got a mixer, feeds the audio into the GoPro comes back out into the stream box. The mixer has separate audio, control room out to those big speakers, blam blam. So this way you got separate volume for the speakers and for the audio going into the GoPro. Stream right into the GoPro, it's wireless. Just turn on the GoPro and go. Not bad, not bad. I'm all good already, so moved on and scared. You can see any of the toys scattered about the room. That is the aftermath of a weekend of the nephews visiting the house. I wasn't feeling too great this weekend, so I wasn't able to escape. But the last time they came here, I was like, well, I'm gonna make sure that I'm out of town because nothing productive can get done when they're in this house. And then you add my sister into the mix as well. It's just straight chaos. You know, I'm sitting here listening to music on my $90 speakers, and they're perfect. It could be better, and I'm sure there's better, but how much better can it get? Does it really matter? I've talked about this ad nauseum, but the trap that I always fall into is not being able to be satisfied with what I already have and to actually use the stuff that I bought for the thing it's used for. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do use the stuff that I bought, but it is so freeing and so nice when I can actually let go of this desire and this need to constantly look for the next thing and instead just appreciate and enjoy what I have. I don't know how I can make that happen more often, but that's the freedom, baby.
It's freedom, baby, yeah!
Okay, that's gonna do it for today's vlog. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. It is muggy outside. Okay. What was I gonna say? Oh. What?